Alright, so here's a quick update to the video on creating the space scene inside of Flash, because with Flash Professional CC they decided to take out the Art Deco tool, which allowed us to do the fire for the rocket ship. Because of course when you release a new version, the best thing to do is take away features, Adobe. Anyway, so we're going to go through, I'm going to create a new action script, 3.0 file here. We've got our deal. I'm going to rename this fire, and we're just going to make our own fire. So to make our own fire, we're going to go up to Insert, New Symbol, and I'm on a Mac, so it's a Command F8. But if you go up to Insert and click New Symbol, you'll get this dialog box. Let's name the movie clip Fire, and click OK. So that brings us inside of the new movie clip. When we're inside of this movie clip, this little crosshair you see is the 0, 0 point. So if you think back to geometry and the way plotting points works on a graph, 0, 0 is your center point. If you go this way, you go +1. If you go up, +1, -1, -1, and it keeps going. So, we're going to just work with the center point though. And let me grab my brush tool real quick. Change the color to a nice fire looking color. Orange, where? We'll do that. Alright, so I'm going to do this, and I don't really like that color, but I'm just going to kind of draw out some fire looking stuff. And we will call that fire. Again, I'm going to change that orange. I really don't like the orange. I want a brighter orange, but I don't see a brighter orange. There we go. That'll work. So I'm going to zoom in real quick. I hit Z on my keyboard and then mouse over it and it zooms in. All right, so I've got my first part of the fire here. And I'm just tootling around. All right, so I'm going to take that. I'll hit Control C on my keyboard and Control V, which will duplicate my fire. So I've got two fires. Let me change the color to more of a reddish color. Use my free transform tool, which is Q on my keyboard. Scale it down a bit. And there we go. Now I've got the fire underneath, and you can adjust these points and move things around. All right, and I'm just going to stop with this, just 2 levels deep. If you wanted to come in and put a blue in there, you could do that as well. But so I've got my first fire. What I want to do is come down here and click on frame 1 of layer 1 and hit F6 on my keyboard. F6 is going to duplicate that frame, so now I have 2. And on the second frame, I'm going to come in and adjust my fire. So we're going to make it, move a little bit. Make it look like it's actually burning. So just spend some time going through here and adjusting everything. Which, it was so much easier to do this with the Art Deco tool, guys. I'm sorry that Adobe decided to be not cool and remove that tool, because that was one of the most fun tools they had. Alright, so I've adjusted it a bit. If I go back and forth, you can see it looks like, kind of like fire. Still not nearly as good as the Art Deco tool. So I'm going to click on frame 2 of layer 1 now and hit F6 again. If you're using a Mac, hit function F6 or whatever you need to do F6, or you can right click and click insert frame, or insert keyframe. I'm sorry. I'm still not used to using my Mac. Insert keyframe, and it'll insert the keyframe for you. Alright, so then once again, I'm just going to go through and adjust this, adjust it, make it look like the fire is actually moving. Things of that nature. And you'll want to do this a few times. Get a good, say 5 frames in there or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and stop here because I'm not going to take the time to do this on the video. This is just a quick update. All right. So once you test it, though, let me go back to my scene and pull the movie clip from my library over onto the stage. So I've got this nice fire. I can, move it around, transform it, all that kind of stuff. So if I wanted to put a rocket ship on here like the actual tutorial has, I'm going to go through and draw a really fast rocket ship. Sound effects are necessary while drawing things like this. There you go. That's a rocket ship, I swear. So I've got my rocket ship on there. I've got some fire. Now if I go through and hit Control Enter on my keyboard to test it, you can see it kind of looks like there's fire coming out of it. Now adding more frames to that, 3 frames just makes it look like it's kind of freaking out. But if you add, I'd say a good 10 frames in there, subtly moving the fire and then making sure the first and last one are kind of close together so there's not this big jump, it's going to look a lot better. So if I were to go in even now, double click on that movie clip, and say we're to copy that from there, from the, yeah, so if I copy the graphics from the second frame, come over here and insert a new keyframe, insert a blank keyframe, and Control Shift V will paste it in place. And then if I go back to my first frame, and my last frame, they're more close together, so it's not quite as buggy. Then you can always just go through and shift click to copy the frames, and then go in here and paste the frames, and it'll add more frames as well. But it doesn't really do much since it's the same thing. But that's how you create fire without using the Art Deco tool. Again, Art Deco tool is so much cooler if you have Flash before CC. I forget which version that was. I highly recommend holding on to it just to keep the Art Deco tool to use occasionally. But if you don't, you can go through and make your own fire. It's okay. The world will not end. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always email me at simplejohn@gmail.com, and I respond fairly quickly. Thanks a lot.